Welcome to the South Texas Amateur Tour Podcast, The Power Hour, with your hosts, Travis Salkowski, Dustin Hassan, Casey Graham, Jason Bird, and Michael Germanuelian. Good evening, South Texas Amateur Golf Tour. Welcome to the Tour Power Hour. We are here. It is Tuesday night. It's 8:02. It is the 20th. Tuesday evening. It's an off week here on the tour, guys. Coming up this weekend, we do have stroke play event number 2 of the summer season. We are Northern Hills. Going to be a really good time. We'll be getting that course set up. First notice to players already out, and we are in the swing of it. Here we go. Season is the summer, and it is time to play some golf. But before we get back to golf and tournaments and all that kind of stuff, tonight we are going to be starting what will be a off week kind of focus on our ambassadors. Talk a little bit about who they are, talk about their experience and their time with golf, how they got into golf, talk to them about some of their experiences on tour travels, and really why it is that they volunteer their time and spend time with us and do what they do. And so this week, we kick off that segment with our fearless leader. That man is Travis Salkowski. Guys, tonight's going to be really fun. We're going to talk a lot tonight about Travis. It is a Travis-centric show. This is against his will to a certain extent. But we haven't really talked a lot about, we talk about the tour, we talk about all these things. Rarely do we talk about Travis playing golf. So I am really, really excited to kind of do that tonight. He's going to run through tour travels. We're going to run through his scores. We're going to talk about his background. It's going to be a really good show. So let's jump into it. First and foremost, let's bring out the Viking. You know him. We love him. Casey Graham.
Yo, what up, everybody?
Two Eagle Club. Oh,
that's right. God. I gotta represent. Just by myself right now.
I mean,
can we talk about that putt you fist bumped in the video for par? Come on.
That was a birdie. First and foremost, that was a birdie on number 6 at Almost. That was during the match event, and I made birdie to get us back one back, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm ready to rock and roll.
You were laying on the ground on my right-hand side, taking video. Greg Graff directly behind me.
Trying to get that angle.
Sandoval and Kate and Pat DeCosmo just looking in disbelief. I remember it all.
It happens so rare, you should remember.
It happens so rare that I just cannot forget it. And I mean, I got like 5 good thoughts in my head, and that's one of them.
Awesome.
Welcome to the show, Casey. I love your background tonight. It's fantastic. It definitely matches the theme of Travis, though it's weird to see him with short hair. It's so long ago. But let's go ahead and bring in the force against his will, to an extent, man of the hour, Travis Salkowski.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Tuesday night, June the 20th. Man, there's a terrible photo of me, but maybe a little bit against my will.
They're all great.
I love MD's idea of highlighting the ambassadors and all of that good stuff, and then he told me that I was going to go first and set the bar for it. And I was like, okay, whatever you want, buddy, your show. I didn't realize I was going to have to look at that photo for the next hour, but that's okay. That's okay. That is raw emotion. I love hitting
Just
driver
look
off
at
the
me.
deck on par
Just
fours.
look at me.
You know,
Just look at me.
Just look into my
yes,
eyes.
it is Tuesday, June the 20th. It's 8:05 in the evening. This is the STX Tour Power Hour, and it's awesome to be here with you guys. Thank you so much, as always.
Well, Travi, thank you for being here. Obviously, tonight we are talking about you. So what we'll do is, I know there's just some general questions that'll inevitably lead to 30 different things. But
yes, I apologize to everybody for our ridiculously difficult to follow tangents that are going to come tonight, for sure.
But I will be doing my best to stay on track with it. So I do want to talk just a little bit about your entry into golf and talking about just kind of the general idea for the tour, how that came about, and what you love most about the tour. But then I really just want to highlight, you don't get to play tournament golf. We talked about that 1,000 times. You don't have to worry about it. You just run the event and watch.
Yeah, it's fun for me from the side, and I can set up the course as tough as I want to set up the golf course and watch you guys play it week in and week out. I don't have a lot of skin in the playing game often.
And that's why we go to Wisconsin, we go to Kohler. And I want to highlight, and I kind of want to talk through your rounds. I have your scorecards for each round. I want to kind of run through them. But we played, obviously, like 12 rounds of golf, 13 rounds of golf, some insane number.
Awesome week. It's awesome week. Yeah, for sure.
I know that there is, when we play, because I'm kind of part of that usual foursome, or at least I get the text message, hey, you're next in. But, I know you can go out.
I said this with Jason Bird on the phone today, that MD has right of fifth refusal.
And I'm usually the one who will respond first to everything. And
yes, absolutely.
The only thing I don't do is put together tee times. Like, that's what I suck at, but no one wants to play where I'm going to play anyway, so I end up leaving it to you. But I know you're capable of shooting good scores because I see it all the time, because I'm like, Travis hasn't hit balls in 2 weeks. I'm going to go kick his ass. And then I don't, and I get pissed off. But even more rarely is it something that we get to see you do in front of everybody, in front of customers. Most of the people know that you're a PGA professional. Most people think of their PGA professional as not always someone who gets to play as much golf as they want. So maybe they're rusty, maybe they're not. And that week of Kohler, you put on the performance of a lifetime for a lot of tour regulars and tour customers. So I definitely want to talk more about that. And we're going to have Morgan Graff join us here a little bit later. We've got some really great photos that she took. She was with us to watch us play and get pictures of us at the straights course. I do want to just start off with this pic, because it's the only thing it's an amazing pic of me. If she can make me look good. And she sent me this like 20 minutes ago, because I texted her like 4 days ago and said, hey, you posted everybody else's pictures. Where was mine? I'm like, if I'm that ugly, you need to tell me. And she's like, no, you look great. And then I'm like, you sent me a picture where you couldn't see my face. So what are you saying?
Yeah. So that was after everyone had left, and that was the four of us playing the straights course on Friday evening, and it was just an awesome round of golf. And I'm excited to talk about that. I'm really excited for Morgan to be on the show, kind of get her take on what that was like, watching a round of golf that I'm going to call a top 3 round of my life, for atmosphere and playability and location and camaraderie and all that good stuff. So I'm really curious to see a third party's point of view on how we navigated the course that day. So I'm really looking forward to that. I know, full disclaimer, everybody, I know nothing about what anybody's going to talk about. So we joke a lot about doing, pregame warm-ups. And normally our pregame warm-ups is talking about how we don't have a plan. And there wasn't even pregame warm-ups tonight about it. So I know nothing that MD has planned. So I'm here learning it at the same time you guys are. So I'm excited.
It's that one rare day every other couple of weeks that I actually had to work for a change. So I didn't get to spend half my day working on this. So I guess I'll bring in Oh, no, he's gone just as quick as he came. I saw Jason Bird was in the backstage. I was going to bring him on, and then disappeared. So, Travis, a lot of us know your history just kind of with the tour, maybe in the trail. Talk to me about just your initial introduction into golf. Like, how did you initially ever touch a golf club?
Okay, cool. I've golfed forever. So from being able to walk, I've been golfing. I was always kind of that non-contact sport player in U12 sports and U10 stuff, and it was always soccer, golf, swimming instead of football, basketball, baseball, right? I was always that second one, right? So golf has always been blessed. Always hit the ball pretty straight. Has a pretty good short game as a kid. And I got my first job caddying at 12 years old at Pine Hills in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. So going to Kohler is so cool for me because it really truly is going home. Like, we played around at Pine Hills before all of the guests arrived at Kohler a couple days before. And the head professional there now is still the head professional there that was there when I was a 12-year-old. And it's so fun to have him tell stories to you guys about how ridiculous I was as a 12-year-old, you know?
It was honestly like it made more sense than anything. My mother worked for the Kohler company in Kohler. I lived and grew up in Sheboygan, and the mean streets of Sheboygan.
Yeah, in junior camps at Black Wolf Run, you get spoiled really quick. My mother still talks about the time when before Black Wolf Run was Black Wolf Run, and it was just a 5-hole golf course for the town kids to go play. You know, Kohler really is a company town, and I've golfed since I could walk. I had an uncle who was a great player from Kohler and Sheboygan Falls, and I kind of used his presence as a role model growing up on family vacations. You know, he was the bar to set. You know, like I think I tied him as a 16-year-old for the first time, and then didn't get back to passing him until I was an adult. So I'm sorry, I was reading comments. I got distracted.
I know, that's why I was saying stay with me.
Yep, I'm here. I'm here with you. I'm sorry.
I was like, I know when you're friggin' drifting.
I'm battling a little bit of a delay as well, too. So I'm doing my best.
I'm picking up on that. So you went to school for you went through the PGM, the professional golf management.
Yep.
Degree, correct?
So I played golf in high school, and then I took a couple years off after high school and worked. You know, I thought, of course, I was a 18-year-old kid in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. And of course, I knew all the answers, right? And I worked third shift in a factory for a couple years, and I caddied at Whistling Straits and worked on the maintenance crew at Whistling Straits, and paid for that first year of college, and went to Ferris State University in Big Rapids, Michigan for 4.5 years. Love North Central Michigan. Amazing place. Met my wonderful wife, Sabrina, at a local bar just outside of Whistling Straits on a Tuesday afternoon after caddying. It's just always been golf. It's always been golf. One way or another, it's always been golf.
Oh, Jason Bird joining us from his mansion.
Yes, of course.
Jason Bird, where are you these days? Are you in Vegas still?
That is correct.
That is a virtual background, folks.
No, that's my rental.
I don't believe you. I can't help but notice a break in the background.
This strange blue tint around you.
Yes.
Jason's being abducted, everybody.
It's always been golf. whether it was riding my bike to the country club to caddy as a 12-year-old or waking up at 4 to mow greens and then play golf afterwards. It's just always been golf.
Sneaking into your local course and hopping a fence.
Yeah, for sure. My folks live 2 blocks away from the local. We're going to call it the country club, but it is absolutely not. It is definitely the local municipal golf course. I believe the green fees are still $13 to walk, rack rate on the weekends. So, yes. But yeah, junior golf, junior leagues, Sheboygan, Kohler. It's just always been golf. It's always.
Okay. So before we start jumping into scores, let's talk about the tours. Obviously, you are the owner-operator of the South Texas Amateur Golf Tour. In its earlier days, it went by a different name, but how did the tour kind of come about?
So it's a great question. This is the 13th year of the tour, the 12th year of the tour as we know it, with the point standings and playoffs and all of that good stuff. 14 years ago, I was working for the Alamo City Golf Trail, and I was at Brackenridge Park, and we did a handful of member events, Players Club members, discount card holders, whatever you have it. Maybe it was the Gimme program at the time. And we did a couple membership drives and just a couple fun events. And then next year, my boss at the time, Jim Roshek, was experimenting with us managers managing multiple facilities. I ran Brackenridge Park and Olmos Basin that year. There was another manager who did Riverside and Mission, and there was another manager who did Olmos and Willow. And he said to me, I don't want you to run 2 courses. I want you to run Brackenridge Park and come up with a tournament series. And that first year we called it the Trail Tournament Series. It was like the TTS or something crazy that didn't mean shit about anything. And it was a handful of events. And that summer I was at Cedar Creek with Christy Cano, and we wrote this schedule for what we called the Alamo City Golf Trail Tour. And it was 10 events, and the point standings meant something for the next event. And then there were playoffs based on point standings. And we took it back to the executive office, and he went, roll with it. And man, we rolled with it that year. And I think our largest event was 48 people. I think we got 48 people in an end of the year event at Brackenridge Park. And it was awesome. And we thought we were cool shit. And the next year, Christy went to San Pedro to teach. And instead of running 2 facilities, I ran 1 and created the tour format as we know it, and created the Alamo City Golf Trail Tour. Spring season, summer season, 20 events, playoffs. A couple years after that, in 2014, the South Texas Match Play Challenge came about. And we created a Ryder Cup style event with Houston, the Houston Amateur Golf Association. And that is going into its 10th year this year. We're going to be playing at High Meadow Ranch in Houston. They're going to host the 10th annual South Texas Match Play Challenge. And then the tour kept growing and growing and growing. And about 5 years ago, I left golf operations, but was lucky enough to keep running the tour, the Alamo City Golf Trail Tour at the time. And about 18 months ago, the 4 people plus Dustin Hassan, the South Texas Amateur Golf Tour executive team, came up with a standalone strategy. And here we are on the Power Hour podcast, 2.5 years of sellout events. And the South Texas Amateur Golf Tour is the hottest amateur competition in the region. And we have 150 people playing this weekend at Northern Hills in a stroke play event. Events are selling out left and right. And it's just, man, if you think about it, it's just core golf professional growing the game at this core municipal level. And it's so much fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think you talk about being hot shit at 48.
I know, right?
Fast forward 10 years and it's 148 actually. And now you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah,
this is.
It's really fun to talk about when you put it in a timeline like that. And I mean, it was last summer that we were doing the show. You just got the Facebook memory from the podcast a year ago, hosting our first show, and now it's like, it's just common knowledge that we're here on Tuesday nights and the events are going to sell out, and the Facebook page is rock star, and here we are looking at you on Tuesday at 8:22 in the afternoon.
I apologize to everyone out there who has to look at me. It's what it is. We can't get Jason and Casey on every show. For the time being, I'm the main eye candy for the group. So sorry.
I love it when Casey joins the show. I think it's so great.
Oh, I mean, he kind of does like the Ron Swanson thing where he's very bearded and he just sits there and doesn't say anything. But that's enough to bring a presence.
Right. And then there's Jason, and everybody secretly likes Jason. It's hilarious statistic.
And they also secretly don't like him.
Everyone loves to
mixed feelings.
Everyone loves to hate on Jason Bird, and everyone loves to love Jason Bird.
I think that after our 8-part series, Meet the Ambassadors, I think we should have I think we should have a Facebook poll. Who's your favorite ambassador? I think that'd be great.
Oh my!
I have no chance of winning that.
I mean, why don't we just give it to Greg Graff now?
I know, right?
What's the fucking point?
Well,
I was thinking the same thing. Good God!
I'm sure it's going to be Laura and Sean passing out water botters.
Greg Graff
We got to make sure that we do. We got to make sure that we do the survey in the winter.
I was about to say you can't do it during the summer because
that's awesome.
Laura and Sean just look like saviors in a golf cart.
Ugh.
Yeah, they will be. They will be this weekend. That's for sure.
My
God, they will be.
Everybody plan accordingly. Hot this weekend. Lots of tee times. 7 hours. 7 hours of tee times.
Well, I mean that's just crazy how many
7 hours of tee times. When you say it like that, it sounds crazy.
It does sound crazy when you.
I planned on carrying.
Yeah.
Who's gonna carry you?
Yeah. Well.
Damn.
I think that walking is the way to go at Northern Hills. I really do. I really do.
I don't know if y'all saw me last week, but we walked with pants, and I think last tournament was the first time I've ever worn shorts.
Yeah, Casey went to the truck at the turn and put on shorts. Yes, that was a news flash, news bulletin. Never before.
You were gone before I got there. Before I finished, I did not get to see that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, you should hang out a little bit,
I was in second flight, fighting for my life.
Yes, by the time he finished, you had actually left. So, yes. And then by the time you came back, he was gone. Yes.
I came back.
You came back?
I mean, it's like a homing beacon on a pigeon. I always come back. Okay. I am done with this breakaway. Apologies, everyone, for us just losing track there. I'm working on getting myself back under control here. I'm going to ask you this last question. You have 4 minutes to answer it. And if you can do that, I'm right on track. What do you love most about the tour?
What do I love most about the tour? There's so many things I love about the tour, but one of the I'll probably rabble off a couple bullet points right now. But I think my favorite thing about the tour is that we can't stay on topic. There's so many cool things that network from the tour or around the tour, or job partnerships that came from the tour, or tour travels, or whatever. We can't topic because there's so much to talk about. And I think that's one of the coolest bullet points, is that the content is so great. There's never a chance to stay on topic.
Yeah, that was not going to be the thing I would have guessed, but when you think about it, yeah, I mean, we are pretty much just. I mean, and your favorite thing is an absolutely perfect reflection of you too, which is 1,000 things going on. Why wouldn't?
Yes. I remember one round of golf where I was playing with a caddy whose ADHD and personality mirrored mine, and I remember overhearing Casey say, after I had a conversation with this caddy whose name was also Travis, Casey was like, "Yeah, dude, that's just going on in there all the time."
It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm standing there listening to it, let alone and watching it. So it's just, I'm like, are you kidding me? Just hit the damn putt.
Yeah. Yes. MD, to answer your question, quite candidly, it's the golfers. It is the 150 golfers that are, hey, how are you?
Say hi.
Good to see you. Hi.
Okay, you don't have to wait.
It's the golfers. It's the golfers at 8:00 in the morning on tournament day. It's the golfers on Friday afternoon playing a practice round. It's the golfers emailing that they sent an email to be on the waiting list but didn't make it in. What's up next? It really is the golfers. It's the tour and the amateur competition at equity across the flights from 0s to 30s. It doesn't really exist. And I think the tour format and the tour concept of equity across the flights just really, really makes the golfer feel at home everywhere. Whether you're a 7th flighter at Northern Hills this weekend, or you're in the first tee time as a champ flighter, you have a home, and that home is on tour. And my favorite thing about the tour is running down the driving range and high-fiving people before they start, or learning that somebody has been grinding it out and taking lessons so they can play better, or they're the driving range king and they're trying to hit more balls than Morgan. It's just always been golf, and it's so cool to be with this many customers from all playability and skill levels and all backgrounds, quite honestly. So yeah, to answer your question, my favorite thing about the tour is the golfer.
Awesome. I mean, I think that's why everyone here in DH and all the ambassadors, I think that's why we're all here, is because we love golf, and more importantly, we love the people that want to play golf, that we can help facilitate that and bring that experience. And that's so much driven by what you do and kind of how you lead that group.
Like I love getting the text messages in October, like, hey, when's the new schedule going to be coming out? I've got to plan the family vacation. Like those text messages just give me goosebumps. Like, I mean, it's just so awesome.
That's awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, we are right on schedule.
I did my best to stretch that one 4 minutes for you, buddy.
You didn't even really need to. I mean, if I could have been ahead of schedule, that's always pretty good too. I'm always pretty happy with that. So now what I want to do is talk about Kohler. I said it earlier. The one thing that, we all know is Travis doesn't have to play in tournaments with us. Is he any good at golf? Does Travis get nervous or have any expectations of, oh shit, I have to play in front of people, so I better be good at golf?
Yeah.
And just everything getting ready to go into Kohler. And as we pretty well identified, Travis's game is in pretty damn good form. I want to run through the rounds here. Obviously, we played a lot. The rounds I want to focus in on are the 6 rounds of golf that we played with the customers on tour travels in Wisconsin and Kohler, Wisconsin. Because what we want to do is obviously, the guys on the screen play with you all the time. We know that you can shoot good scores. How often do you get to show that off to everyone else?
Playing with you guys, it's great. I can have 7 good holes, and then I can pick up on 2 holes, and it doesn't mean shit, right? And flashes of glory, and you're right. Really, there is a ton of pressure for me personally. I'm going to do my damnedest to be as open and honest and candid as I possibly can, and bring you every emotion that I was thinking or thinking now. And you're exactly right. I don't hit the ball a lot in front of guests or customers or tour golfers. I play my recreational golf with a very tight-knit group of people. And quite honestly, I'm terrified of playing in front of people a lot. And I use it kind of as my unteachable moment to work on that mental aspect of the game, and to keep going and keep grinding and keep getting better every shot, trying to get better, and every putt trying to get better. And I mean, good Lord, I'm a terrible putter, and I'm just not a great putter. And every chance I get to play in front of everybody, I try to pour everything that I am into that round or that moment, and leave nothing out there at all. Leave everything on the table, leave nothing back, and just show 100% of raw trav every shot, whether it's good or bad, and build and build and build on that. Oh, sorry, buddy. You're on mute this time. It's just me. I'm talking by myself. Everybody's on mute.
So I want to look at the 6 rounds then. Played in Kohler between Monday and Thursday. That includes a round at the Straits course, a couple of rounds at Irish Meadows, and obviously River. Let's talk about these. Talk about some of these holes. Travis,
sure.
The one I don't know how people do it. We were talking 5 seconds before we went on, and we were talking about a hole that we had played together, and Casey had questioned something about it being a par, and I said, no, that was a birdie, and I went through this very long explanation. I'm like, because I remember the good ones. So Travis just remembers everything, like anything. So he can kind of tell us what was going on each one of those holes and each one of those rounds. So let's look at that real quick. And if you want to talk us through these, or at least start us off.
So okay, those are my 6 scorecards right there from the tour travels trip. This was our 4th year going to Kohler, and I had one goal this year, and it was to beat Jason Bird. Last year, Jason got me by 3. The year before that, he got me by 8. And the year before that, he got me by 10. So my one goal this year was to practice harder and hit more balls and practice short game hard and beat Jason. We actually played the second from the bottom round Monday on the Meadow Valley course. Jason and I played together. MD, you were in that group as well, and so was Morgan. Those first 2 rounds on the bottom, it actually goes from the bottom to the top. The river course was so hard that day. After analyzing these rounds a lot for this show, I think that 75 on the river course felt like the 68. I think the course setup was so difficult that day in Kohler. I played that round with Greg Keogh and Micah Carroll and Darren Leinhart. And that round of golf kind of set the stage for the whole week for me, really, because I walked the river course with Greg Keogh that day. Our 4 caddy drove our golf cart, and I walked with Greg, and that kind of set the tempo and set the pace. And I came out well. I parred the first 4 holes, and I had a 3-putt on the 5th hole of the river course, and I couldn't get up and down on number 9. And the front 9 on the river course is a par 37, so that 39 feels one shot better, right? And number 10's a tough par 3, and number 11 is this huge boomerang par 5 that just feels like it just goes to the right forever around the river. And made a good par there. And hole number 12, the birdie on hole number 12, that's a really tough par 4. And I hit 8-iron to like half an inch. And after that, I got that first little skip, and made a great par on 15 and a great par on 16. And my first mental error of the trip was on 17 green. I had an 8-footer above the hole for birdie on 17. And my whole strategy that day was stressless pars. I'm going to tap in for par all day long. I don't care. And on walking up to the 17th green, I looked over to Greg and I said, Greg Keogh, and I said, I want this one. It's been years since I've walked down the 18th fairway, even par on the river course. And of course, I hit that putt 6 feet past and power lipped out the par putt coming back. And it was just gut-wrenchingly painful.
I'm surprised you got it past the hole.
It was 8 foot downhill, left to right, 2 balls left to right. And it touched the hole. It could have went in, but it was 6 feet past, and I lipped out that putt on the way back. And I just made eye contact with Greg, and he said something along the lines of, yeah, that was not a stressless par. Something like that. Like you didn't follow the game plan or something along those lines. And 18's a long.
You only had 6 feet, huh?
Yeah, six feet coming back.
That's a third of what I had coming back from my par putt.
Yeah, maybe it was a touch longer than that, but it wasn't that bad. I hit a good putt inside right, and it just stayed right there and went whoosh. And it wasn't like a nice little casual lip out. It was like 80% Jason Bird Medeiros lip out.
Oh,
and yes, right. And it was just like gut wrenching. And played great on 18.
Going into 18.
Yeah, couldn't get up and down on from the back right on 18, and finished bogey there, and shot 75 and turned right around and played in the afternoon with MD, Jason, and Morgan. And
Travis, before we jump into that round, special guest Morgan Graff on the show. Here we go. Welcome, Morgan.
Oh, hey, what's up, Morgan Graff?
Hi. I hope my internet is good enough for this. I really don't know.
We will certainly try.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
I think it's
you can hear me.
Delayed.
Good.
Yes.
I'm glad.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can see you.
Okay. Great.
Well,
I had a blast playing with you, Travis. Actually, more though. Love taking pictures of you.
That, and we'll talk.
Which we'll get to later.
My God.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll get to that.
Such a.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you're just you're very unique to play with in the best way possible.
Oh, I mean, that's awesome. That's what that sums it up in a nutshell. I would describe our whole group that way, right? Like, an outlier for the most positive of reasons all the time. But yeah, I played.
Yes, absolutely.
I played the afternoon round on Monday. with Jason Bird, MD, and Morgan on the Meadow Valleys course. It is probably the course that I've played the most of in my entire life. So I've played the Meadow Valleys course 1,000 times. And I got on this amazing bogey trend, got a little tired on the front nine, grabbed a bratwurst at the turn, bratwurst number 35 of the week.
Pork missile.
Pork missile.
God, I love those bratwursts. And couple birdies on the back nine, shot 75, 77 on the first day, and felt really, really good about it. I felt like I was playing great. Still didn't putt really well, but my tee shot was great. My iron shot was great. My short game was really, really good. And then I didn't get myself into too much trouble with the flat stick. But the Tuesday round was probably my favorite round of the week when all the guests were there. That Tuesday round on the Irish course was super cool. I was standing on the first tee box, and I was holding my phone in my hand on the first tee box. And I played with Scott and Alan. Played with Scott Williams, Alan Crowder, and Charles Romero. Right, 3 people I've never played golf with before. And Alan, this was Alan's second year on the trip, and I didn't play golf with Alan in 2022 in Kohler. So this is my first time playing golf with these guys, and I'm standing on number 1 tee box. And remember that my only goal is to beat Jason, right? That's my only goal is to beat Jason Bird. And I am holding Golf Genius in my phone, and it goes, bink, Jason Bird, birdie, hole number 1. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I turned over my shoulder to Scott Williams, and I'm like, Scott, I'm going to try real hard for you today. And
glad I could inspire you.
You absolutely did. Yeah, and I said, you make me play better. And I hit driver down the middle, and I hit 9-iron to like 10 feet, and I like center cup, back of the cup, made birdie putt. Like it was like going to be like 15 feet past if it doesn't go in, but it went in, and I pulled open my phone to enter the scores, and it went beep, Jason Bird, birdie, hole number 2. And I'm like,
that is correct.
Oh, crap, it is on right now. That is, and I hit hybrid right down the middle, and hit wedge to 10 feet and lipped that putt out. And on the next hole, I hit wedge to 10 feet and just touched the hole. And on hole number 4, I covered the bunker, and I hit it to like 15 feet and left it like a half a revolution short. So I'm still a stroke behind Bird, and I'm hitting it great, and I'm walking again. The 4 caddies driving my cart, and I am walking. And on the Irish course, I'm pulling up Jason's scorecard, and he shot 35 on the front nine on the Irish course, and that is that's the same score that I'm sorry. He shot 35 on the front nine, and I birdied 5 and 6 to go to 3 under through 6 holes. And that's when I got all like, okay, here we go. This is going to be low. This is going to be great. And I got a little jacked up, and I airmailed gap wedge on hole number 7. And I bogeyed hole number 7. And that tee box walk from hole number 7 green to hole number 8 green on the Irish course is this cool walk. It's down some stone steps across a bridge, kind of like a 35 yard walk, and gave myself that little pep talk like, hey bro, take a deep breath. It's 1 bogey. Everything's fine. And I bombed driver on the next hole, and I bombed hybrid out of a fairway bunker to the front edge of the green and hit chipper to 6 inches and immediately got that bogey back and was in a really good place. And I mean, I think I apologized to Charles Romero at the turn. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm acting crazy. I think I said full crazy's on display right now is what I think I said. Hit a great drive on 10, and then bogeyed 11 and 12 on the Irish course. That's the kind of in the middle scorecard of the screen right there. And kind of had a little funk going. I 3-putted 12. I hit it in the bunker on 11, and I 3-putted 12. Made a good 2-putt par on 13, and then got to the front edge of 14 and 2 and hit chipper to a foot again for birdie on 14. Great par on 15. It's a tough hole. Great par. Actually, I made par out of the greenside bunker on the left, short-sided. It was probably the best bunker shot I hit during the week, but made good par there. And then you can see the 2 on the scorecard. It was 16. I hit driver and I was in the left rough. I was 131 from the flag, and I was 108 yards over to cover the bunker that's just short of that green. And Alan and Charles were at the beverage cart was there. And for those golfers that have played with me, I hate beverage carts. Like, I hate them. They bother me. They're so loud. There's so much going on. And I stepped off that shot 2 times because of the beverage cart. And I finally said, screw it. I'm going to hit it. I hit it perfect. It landed right over the bunker and rolled across the green and went in. And the coolest part about that is MD and Micah Carroll and Greg Graff watched the whole thing. And it was the first eagle I made on a Tour Travels trip. That's why Casey's subtitle under his name is the 2 Eagle Club, because he has 1 more eagle than the rest of us on the Tour Travels trips.
I have 2.
So that was my. You have 2? Where do you have 2?
I have number 1 at Whistling Straits, and then the par 5 dogleg right on river that's downhill. Is that 8? Or right before
Yes.
the drivable par 4. Yeah.
Yep. 8. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't think Casey knows that either. We'll get Casey.
But we're Eagle par 4 club.
We'll find out in the chat. I would assume here shortly.
Yes, Jason and I are in the Eagle on par 4 club. Yes, thank you. We started a new club.
Yep.
Beep. Beep. But yeah, I promptly came back with bogey on 17, and then I birdied 18 to shoot 68 that day, and I will never forget shaking those guys' hands on 18 green. And I mean, that was certainly the highlight of the trip for me was 16, 17, 18 there, carding a 68, and really feeling like the PGA professional on the trip, you know?
Yeah, Bird probably knows.
But that was definitely the highlight round was the 68. The next day was on the straights course. I played that round with Greg Keogh and Sean Wolf and MD. And if we're really breaking down my scorecards here, the stat that sticks out to me is in 6 rounds of golf on the screen right now, I made 1 double bogey. Just 1. And it was on the 4th hole on Wednesday on the straights course. I got into trouble on the left side of the hole, and on the left side of that hole about 100 yards out, and just couldn't get back up onto the surface. And That was my one double. So my thought process was beat Jason Bird the whole week and grind like Jason Bird. We used to have hats that said GLB.
That's right.
And I was never going to let one get away from me, and I did my best not to let stuff snowball. And the course management through those rounds, I thought was really well. I thought the preparation and the game planning was really well. You can see there's a comment in the thread from Scott Williams that says "Stay in the tunnel." That was one of my my thought processes during that round on the Irish course was stay in the tunnel. Right, nothing else is bothering me. I have one goal, and it's to hit as crisp shots as I can, and to stay in this one spot in this moment now. And I mean, I was saying it out loud, and when it got too crazy, I would do like stay in the tunnel, yeah.
So I don't know if you want to talk about the last two rounds, or if you want to just jump straight to Friday at Whistling Straits, because I'd love to bring in Morgan a little bit on here and talk about that, and talk a little bit about the trip. And
there's one thing on the last round on the Irish course. The very top scorecard is the last round we played on Thursday afternoon, and I was playing with Dustin and Tim and Julian De Hoyos. And Dustin didn't play great the whole week, but he played really good on that day. He actually he shot 72, he shot even on that day with me. And again, we walked, right? Caddy drove the cart and we walked. I walked all 6 of those rounds. And on 16, I made bogey, and he went one up on me with my bogey on 16, and he hit it down the middle on 17, and I hit it in the bunker on the left of 17. And I told him before he hit that shot, I said, Dustin, make me play better. And he hit that shot on 17 to 10 feet. And I was like, damn, that's awesome. Yeah, let's go. Because Dustin and I were in the game for Tour Travels. We were partners at the time, right? And I hit that bunker shot from that fairway bunker, crisp as shit. And it landed at like 4 feet, stopped, spun back to like 8 feet. Dustin made his putt first, and then I made my putt on 17. And I said, as soon as my putt went in, I went, Dustin, make me play better on 18. And he hit drive kind of right on 18, and I hit the best drive of the week. And I covered the hill, and I had like 4-iron left on 18, and I hit it past the flag, and I 2-putted for birdie to shoot 1 under. So I shot 5 under on the Irish course in 2 rounds that week, and did my best to stay in the tunnel and play with as much emotion on my sleeve there, holding nothing back.
that's awesome, man. That was that whole week of golf with you was pretty awesome in general. Obviously, we played before, we played after people left, so I saw you all week just putting on a show that I was struggling to keep up with like everyone else. So it was pretty crazy. But now definitely want to talk a little bit about our experience at the Straits course with you on Friday after the customer base had left. Let's talk about that round from the Ryder Cup tees. And Morgan was actually with us. We talked about it on the show last week. Morgan actually played golf that morning and volunteered her time to come out, and with her very, very nice photography equipment, came out and photographed a group of 4 really stupid people playing golf from stupid difficult tees with caddies who started out thinking, what the hell are we going to do right now about this?
Yeah,
and
first and
performance.
foremost, thank you so much, Morgan, for coming with us. That you made it really special.
I had a blast. I was just trying to stay out of the way, but I know it's super weird to have a photographer with you during a round, but
You
everybody
made it
was great.
super special. So
I've never felt more at home.
timeline perspective here is the week is now over, really, right? The week is over. Tour travels rounds are done. It's Friday morning. Most of the tour travels guests are on the shuttle bus headed back to the airport. The Graphs played at the Bull that morning. Micah Carroll, Darren Leinhart, Mike, and JT Sherman played at the Bull and stuck around one more day. But what I like to do on that Friday afternoon is I like to take as many ambassadors as I can, specifically the ones that, helped facilitate the tour travels trip and play one more round of golf together. Because we didn't get to play together the whole week, right? Because we're taking care of guests, we're dealing with Kohler, we're managing logistics from one course to another course, what bags are going where. There's tons of trip logistics going on, and Jason and MD and Casey and myself don't play together because we're playing with guests the whole week, right? So the four of us played the Straits course on Friday afternoon from the Sunday Ryder Cup set, which was just under 7,500 yards. The weather
It was long.
The weather was absolutely perfect. And
It was.
I was in the locker room getting ready, and I have a very old man get ready routine, like where I need to be at the golf course.
Terrible.
I need to be at the
terrible.
golf course 2 hours
Awful.
early. I want to change and get ready in the locker room by myself, and then foam roll in front of the fireplace, that type of stuff, right? And hit balls for 45 minutes. I have a really big workout routine beforehand. And Jason comes up about halfway through me getting ready in the locker room, and he's like, guess what? And Jason Bird is visibly excited and out of breath from running up the stairs. And he's like,
that's an embellishment. The first part's true. I didn't run up the stairs.
and he's like, guess what?
That's great.
And I'm like, what happened? Like, I instantly, and this is why Jason doesn't share a lot of stuff with me, because I instantly go into spiral down the rabbit hole. Something's wrong. Like that's just what I do operationally, right? Like, what do I need to do to fix something right now? And he's like, nothing is wrong. Morgan is done playing her morning round at the Bull, and she's going to follow us and shoot the whole round of golf. And at that moment, I went back into the tunnel, and the peripheral vision, tunnel visioned, and it was like, okay, it's on. This is going to be something cool. And
I heard you changed your actually.
I don't remember.
Did you change your pants?
I don't think so. I don't think I changed pants.
You changed your pants.
I definitely, whatever Jason said. Yeah, for sure. But had a really good practice session.
You said that photographs better. Remember you told me both of?
I didn't hear you. You broke up.
Oh, well, what do you think photographs better? I'd be more photogenic.
I was standing there too. I can confirm that.
Yeah, I do remember. I did.
Which we were all doing at that point, because I was like, do I need to change my pants? I'm like, would these pants work? Like, we were all sitting there all of a sudden questioning our style.
And naturally, it's very typical of us to have multiple changes of clothes, so that nobody overlaps and looks like the other person, right? So, I mean, that's important.
Yeah, my locker
I don't think it's a danger at all, but yeah, I don't. Y'all all look very different, but I see what you're saying.
But had a good practice session, and we got two really good caddies. One was a 15-year veteran, and one was on his third loop. And they were both equally awesome. And yes, and Jason and I were on a caddy together, and we had the newer caddy, and MD and Casey had a caddy by the name of Frank. It was awesome. He was great. And we're playing the Ryder Cup tees, and we kind of gave them the story. This was Frank had caddied for MD the day before. Is that right?
No, he caddied for Casey the day before.
He caddied for Casey the day before. There's Casey. Casey's backstage in the comments, so he's still here with us. Okay. And we all hit it down the middle on one. I missed the green left in a bunker, but got up and down. And Casey and Bird made par. I'm sorry. Yeah, Casey and Bird made par, and MD birdies the first hole. So we are 1 under on the first hole from the Ryder Cup tees. And then we walk up to the blacks on the second tee box, and all of a sudden the golf course got real. Because the first hole, I don't know if you remember the Ryder Cup stat, the first hole was from the green tees. And then every hole after that was from the black tees. Yeah, I mean, it was insane.
Correct.
And we played the second hole. Casey was a little right. Bird and I were a little left. I hit it in a fairway bunker, and I made par on 2. And we walked to hole number 3. I'm jumping around, MD, right now. I'm sorry. I hit 7-iron on hole number 3, par 3, to the back left flagstick, and I covered that corner, and I hit it to like 6 feet. And Frank leaned over his shoulder to the greener caddy and said, "Pay attention. This is going to be special." And he said that out loud, and I heard him. And Jason was with me, and at that moment,
he told the caddy, "Stay out of the way."
And at that moment, our caddy was so good that he knew he wasn't good enough and didn't speak the rest of the time. It was so good. And that round as a whole, and I'm so excited to give it back to you and let you and Morgan talk about it. But that round of golf on the Straits course on Friday afternoon with you and Bird and Casey and Morgan there, that's top 3 rounds of my life. Top 3 rounds of my lifetime.
I mean, we all played amazing. It was awesome. Like, no one was having a bad day.
It was
things that we literally should not have been doing. Like, we walked up to number 8, and it was like, can we even make that carry? And then we're making the carry by 60, and I'm hitting 4-iron in there to like 15 feet, right?
It was one of those rounds where the caddies were in it. The caddies were fist pumping. I mean, I'll never forget the look on Frank's face when Casey made birdie on the 18th hole. I mean, like, it was just one of those special rounds.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, I tell you what, I would never have agreed to that if this was a couple of years ago when I was still only using a 4-iron off the tee. I would never have attempted to play the Ryder Cup tees with you guys.
That would have been terrible for you. That would have been bad.
It was so bad.
Like, your 2018 MD's launch angle wouldn't have covered fescue.
Oh, so true.
I mean, my ball in the middle, I mean, I definitely would have picked up some green stains on that ball just coming through the weeds there. I mean, it was quick.
The course was tipped out. The hole locations were difficult. The weather was perfect. The caddies were great. And it was awesome having Morgan there. It was next level.
What was really interesting from my perspective is I usually am not looking at where the ball goes at all. And it took me quite a few holes to even think about looking at where the ball is going. Because normally it's like, if you shank it, it literally doesn't matter. The photo still looks great. And probably 6 holes in, I'm like, what the hell? Why are, like, everybody's doing so good? I should probably start looking. You know, at that point, I started getting really interested in how just great everyone was doing, and everyone was excited. So yeah, I started kind of peeking behind me after people hit after that. It was a really special round.
I mean, I felt so much more pressure having a camera on me. I don't know about it. I mean, I don't know
You
about you guys. I
shouldn't,
was like,
because I can't see where the ball goes, so you look
Listen,
good.
I thought
right?
I thought for sure I was blading my flop shot on 7 straight into the lake for sure.
There was the first 4 holes I was nervous. Not gonna lie, first 4 holes I was nervous. I'm like, man, I'm playing great. Now Morgan's here, and she's not playing with me. Like, I played with Morgan earlier in the week, so I was, that was totally fine. But now Morgan is doing nothing but critiquing our golf swings for 5.5 hours, right? Like, that's what's going on. I definitely paid attention on the first 4 holes. And my second...
I remember you referred to me at one point as a sniper, and I was like, "Oh no, don't be that nervous."
I saw the lens flare,
so on the fourth hole, I pulled my tee shot on the 4th hole, and I was close to the lake. And when I say close to the lake, I was in the last bunker before you got to the beach. Like, that's where I was. And that was, I had to hit hybrid because I was still like 215 out on this 490 par 4 in a bunker down by the lake, right? And I'm gonna hit like pull cut, and it was the only time that I was really nervous, and I was like, Morgan, can you move 4 steps to the left? And after that interaction on the 4th hole with Morgan, I was 100% comfortable back in the tunnel, and I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome having you there.
I think it was after number 8, the par 3 that was playing 240.
7's the par 3.
7, the par 3 playing 240 yards.
I love that hole.
So don't get me wrong, I love that hole, and I mean it was in a tucked back right position too. That's a tricky little spot.
Yeah, it was 240 par 3.
And you're just, I mean, at that point you're just like, I got to get to the middle, and that's like, I'm playing pretty good up to this point. I'm like, this is where I can I have to hit a 5-wood or something. This is gonna suck, and if this doesn't go and my round starts to tank, I'm gonna drag everything down.
I want you to know that I bogeyed the 6th hole, and you made par on the 6th hole up and down out of that bunker.
Yeah.
And we walked down the steps to the 7th tee shot, and it was 243 yard par 3. And there at this point in the game, there's absolutely no wind. There's not a breath of wind. The weather is absolutely perfect. We are all playing great. Morgan has completely become in sync with the group, right? It's like she's not even there. Like, jokingly say, like, she popped up from bunkers, took 30 photos, and like popped back down like whack-a-mole. But that's the way it was, really. But MD hit 5-wood on that par 3 to like 30 feet short on the green, but like 30 feet short of the flag. And at the time, this huge sigh of relief came over me because I was like, yes, I get to hit 3-wood. I had driver in my hand at the time. And I'm like, I got to hit bunt cut driver right now. And I ended up rocking 3-wood kind of off of the side hill lie there, and it shot towards the hole, and I had like 18 feet. So
I mean, that was playing so good for your cut, and it was great. I mean, it lands and just scoops over. I'm just like, holy.
And then the next 2 holes, you can't see shit from the Ryder Cup tees, from the black tee boxes on 8 and 9. You can't see anything. 8, you can literally see nothing. There's no target at all.
You just see the juniper where they say, hit it over the juniper.
And Jason was in the fairway there. I didn't make the cover. I was kind of right. I made bogey there. And MD, like, one-hopped it up into the fairway. Like, made the cover. He was in the fairway, but he one-hopped it to get it there. That's how uphill and long that cover is on 8. And the ninth hole, you can at least see the clubhouse and you can aim at the chimneys on the clubhouse. But the front nine's so hard. The front nine from the Ryder Cup tees is so hard. I have the scorecard here. We from the Ryder Cup tees on the front nine, MD was leader in the clubhouse through 9 holes, shot 38. I shot 39, and Casey and Jason shot 41. And we were playing Rockstar. That is how hard that is.
I mean, that is the biggest. I mean, that is crazy test of golf. I mean,
number 7 was my favorite.
Yeah, 7 was still my favorite.
I mean, I hooked it on 2 fairway, and I hit the flop shot from 45 feet. Travis nearly died because I hit it so close.
I was 5 for 5 on that round, up and down with the chipper. I think my favorite shot of the day, I chipped in for birdie on 14 with the chipper from like 10 yards in front of the green. And when you have those days and I called that shot, like I'm like, that's in, like 30 feet short. I'm like, got it. And it goes in, and before it goes in, I'm throwing the chipper to the caddy, and it was just one of those rounds of golf where everything clicked. And I see that Casey's talking about it in the comments, but hole number 18, 520 yard par 4 uphill. And Casey made walk-off birdie on the 18th from the Ryder Cup tees, and I'll never forget the little fist pound that Casey's caddy did after he made it. Casey let out like it is huge, and behind Casey is his caddy going, yeah, and I'll never forget it. It was awesome.
So Morgan, tell us a little bit about just kind of what, from your perspective, you're watching these guys play golf. What did you see? Or like how did you kind of pick up or figure out, okay, I got to shoot from here, I got to shoot from there. I'm waiting for this specific reaction or that specific look. Like, how is that whole thing kind of planned out for you, or how does that work?
It's technically event photography. So really with event photography, it's spray and pray. So you literally just take as many photos as possible and take hours and hours going through them. Golf is special because you do not hit the shutter on a real round until the actual ball has been hit, which I believe I did successfully all day, which is a miracle because usually I get one at least a little bit early, which not good. Look, I hear a lot of complaints from golfers about hiring photographers that don't play golf. That's why I know where to stand. That's really it. If you play golf, you know where to stand. I played the course a couple days before. So
here, let's look at some of these action shots more specifically for the man here, Travis. So that looks like that is 14. Is that 15?
That looks like 15.
No, 15 was way up.
That was late in the round.
15 was way up.
Because we were all in the bunkers. We were all in the bunkers down the right-hand side.
Not me.
Except Bird, who was way left.
I was in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, that is 15.
Yeah,
right?
that would have been in the middle of the
That's
fairway.
That's way left at you, Fox, when I was in the middle of the fairway.
Perspective.
That is number 15. It doesn't that is a huge elevation change from the tee box to the fairway, and then I was down right, kind of in the bunkers on the right hand side there. But that is way downhill. That's why it took me a second to catch that. I mean, what is that play? 50, 60 feet downhill from the tee box back there?
Something like that. I mean, 40, we all got 50, pretty far out there. I mean, it was a pretty high stop for
that
us.
hole was playing like 535 that day too.
That I hit driver hybrid over the back of the green, chipper to 2 feet.
Love that chipper.
Love
I have no idea what
that
I did.
chipper. Let's see. On the scorecard, you made 5. What did you do? You were down right,
I was down in the shit.
and then you were short right, and then hit it onto the front edge and 2-putted for 5. Yep.
You suck.
Yep.
Sounds about right.
That sunset that night that we played it's absolutely
moonrise.
gorgeous out right now.
The moonrise was awesome.
It was 70 degrees outside, no wind. The moon was coming up over the lake, right on cue. MD's favorite shot. His outfit matched the sunset perfectly, and
That was planned.
I mean, it was just perfect. Just a perfect.
That's 16, right?
That is 16. Yep.
Yes.
I was
So-
definitely starting to get tired
What happened
walking.
on 16 for me, Travis?
On 16 for you, that was just a birdie. You must have bird. You hit that shot close.
That's the hole where you asked me if that whole yelling at myself worked thing.
Oh,
That's where
that
that
was.
hole was.
What was your answer?
I
Apparently
said
it does.
absolutely it
He
helped.
said absolutely. I'm like, do you? I believe I said, hey, can I ask you a question without you getting mad? And of course he said.
And
yes.
I already knew what you were going to talk. I knew what you were going to ask.
And I said,
Yes.
do you attribute making birdie to the yelling at yourself from the tee box? Because he made bogey on 15 and was real mad at himself, and it was boisterous and over the top, and it was like it almost reminded me of the PGA Tour golfer back in the day who banged his putter on his head. Bam, 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 bam. That's what it feels like when MD yells at himself. Like that's coming out.
I'm Tyrrell Hatton. I
And,
think that's pretty much.
And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And it was awesome. Yeah, it was great.
I tried to get no photos of that.
I mean, I honestly, I
tried there. There means some exist.
Like that would have helped so much with my. Honestly, that might be the thing that would fix me. I need to actually have someone record me, or I need to have someone.
Yeah, I should
Just
have.
get a picture of it.
It was
Right.
we all
Moving
played.
on.
We all.
Look at
yeah,
Travis.
okay, it's perfect. Okay, if we're talking, man, again, we don't get to talk about my golf game very much, but let's talk some core fundamentals right there. Look at the left wrist position, holding the club face square. I mean that pretty proud of myself in that photo right there.
Arms look ripped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking about that on the tee shot from a couple photos ago. I'm like, damn, I hope somebody comments on my forearms right now.
What about?
I know you wanted it, so I did it for you.
classic Travis.
That's got to be 13 tee box right there. I took an aggressive line. I hit it right where I wanted to hit it, and I covered the corner. After I hit it, it was one of those ones where Jason was like, "Oh, can you do that?" And I'm like, "I think so." As the ball's in the air right there, and
That was close too. He did it. I mean,
I think I was 2 feet. I was in the first cut of the rough. I wasn't in the fairway. And I think I covered that cliff by a pace.
I feel like I can hear
definitely
this.
aggressive.
That is a photo with
I like
sound.
that one. We already saw that one.
Yeah, we did. That was the one that I was like, damn, my forearm.
You know-
looks
That's
great.
right.
I have a
Right.
I have an outside the box question here. Not a perfect.
Uh-oh.
I'm curious to what kind of equipment, like what kind of lenses you're using for the round. I don't know if you don't want to give away professional secrets. That's fine, but
There's no
I
secrets.
don't know. I'm a tech guy, so I like to know the tech behind it.
Well, the interesting part about this golf, so I usually take pictures on muni golf courses where I don't necessarily think that the background is the most stunning thing in the entire world. So in this case,
Hills is a dump.
No, I'm not saying anything like that. No, it's just it's not Whistling Straits. I mean, my God, it's not Whistling Straits. So I use the same lenses, 70 to 200 millimeters. That's like the long range. as Travis would probably call it, like sniper lens. And then switched out with an 80 millimeter prime lens. But the exciting part was wanting to see the background, very much so. You just use a smaller aperture and you can see a lot more of that depth and actually see the background. The moon was very exciting. I was starting to get tired at the end there walking. I played another round. I mean, how many rounds did I played that week? It was stupid. But as soon as the moon came out, I'm like, this is really worth it. I mean, everyone was like, why would you want to go work? Why would you want to work? You're on vacation. But it's one of the most beautiful golf courses I've ever seen in my entire life. So I actually do like what I do. So, yeah, I mean, not anything crazy. I should get a mirrorless camera. They're much quieter, but here we are.
I want you to know that the shutter sound never, ever bothered me. And I thought for sure it was going to. I thought for sure, because I'm insane.
But it's after the shot, so it's all good.
I can hear Jason Bird take his glove off 2 holes away.
Yeah, I had some people.
That's a fact.
Some people came watch me at a tournament and they're whispering like 100 yards away, and I gave them a dirty look because I'm like, I can hear that. So I never ever serve anybody.
I mean, I'm crazy. I thought for sure it was going to bother me, and it never bothered me one time.
Good.
No, the shutters were always after impact, which was nice.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's necessary, 100%. Never want to bother somebody on their downswing. It would bother me. I mean, I know it would bother me. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm psycho. I'm not as psycho as Casey. Casey just steps off now to see if people are paying attention to him stepping off. Like that's why Casey steps off. I'm not that crazy, but
I do that too, and then I stare. It's
it's just mind games. Just mind games.
When Travis steps off, it's always the beverage cart, and he always stares right at the driver until they leave. Like,
and they have
right at him.
What you're doing wrong.
And I try to be so nice because I know they're working hard too, and I'm like, I'll wait. I would rather wait 5 minutes for everybody to be done and the bev cart to leave than have the bev cart wait 30 seconds quietly. Like, just the sheer presence of that chaos that is the bev cart really screws with me.
It's crazy.
I hate when they slam the cooler while you're hitting. Like, they're getting everything all quiet and then they forget it. So that's the one that slaps you.
I didn't notice any issues with the bev cart until Travis was like, they just don't stop. Like, they're not paying attention and they don't stop. So they're just driving as we're getting ready to hit, and we're just going to have to wait. We're going to wait. And I was like, I never even considered or thought about that. I was just hitting.
I'm full crazy, and full crazy was on display that week, right? And that
was hilarious.
I do my damnedest to make sure I take away every outside anomaly from the thought process, right? So if anything goes wrong, it's core trav. It's not the bev cart. It's not the equipment. It's not, some anomaly that happened. It was core trav. Like, I mean, yes.
I'm also very easily distracted and 100% like, yes, I want it to be my fault and my fault only and no excuses if I hit a terrible shot.
Yes.
Yeah. Totally.
I've never hit a bad shot in my life. My golf clubs suck though.
Right, exactly, right? And I want to take that statement out, right? Like, this is how crazy I am. My equipment, every club in my bag has a different color grip on it, has the stickers removed, and has a different color ferrule. So no club is the same.
It's insane.
So they can't be not the same.
And then you get to the wedges, it's worse.
Yes, and then the shafts are orange and green and white. So every club in my bag is different so that it can't be the same as another club where it might be different. Like the sticker is a little differently aligned or the grip's on different. Every club is unique. Different color grip, different color ferrule, no stickers. So no club can be the same.
That is.
I think someone's
close that would make me upset.
I assume someone's going to be posting it here shortly, and maybe I'm getting ahead of a question, but are you on medication? Or were you off it?
No, off completely. I market my ADHD as a strength. Yep.
It is a strength.
It is a strength for sure. 100%. And the minute I started treating it like a strength, it's my number one asset.
I think it's a strength if I'm medicated. Personally. That is a superpower.
Yes, it's ADHD with just the right, OCD and the right bipolar. It's the blender of perfect.
So, Morgan, this was your first time coming out on the tour travels.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about your experience?
Oh my God, it was like the best thing I've ever done in my entire life. Like, it's very hard for me to tell you about it because I still don't understand how it was so great. This sounds like an infomercial. It's not.
Listen, can I change my answer? My favorite thing about the tour is now Morgan Graff.
Oh, it's me?
Yes, it's just Morgan. It's
just me. Sorry, everybody.
It's just Morgan.
No, it was just, I mean, I was afraid when I left that everything would be gray in my life because it was that good. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was just absolutely so good. I'm like, it's all downhill from here, which it wasn't, luckily. But I mean, it was far and beyond greatest thing I've ever experienced.
Let's do this because you went with your dad. So I got to think there's got to be multiple best moments because you have to have your own individual one, but one with him. What were your two best moments? One with your dad, one without.
I think after we got back from Straits, all of us, and we walked into the restaurant and he had a lot of wine. That is definitely a standout moment. Remembering Micah putting his fingers in his ears and asking, how do we turn this off? That was one of the last moments of the trip, so that was definitely
probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen him do. That was amazing.
Everyone was dying. It was amazing. You looked like you wanted to die. It was great. But other than that, actually, it wasn't. Whistling was the best. Whistling was the best course by far, in my opinion. But look, I'm going to get murdered for saying this, but the Sand Greens course before the trip on the drive up was...
You're dead.
I
know. I mean, look.
I knew that was coming and I'm upset.
Obviously.
Look, Travis hates me.
It was coming and I'm upset. I'm upset.
I mean, I was just happy on municipal courses. And that's like what I dropped down to be able to come back home. Like I couldn't do that. I don't know how. Oh,
it was so cool. You got to do it once. I
think it would be this unique experience. So the course that Morgan's talking about, I'm sure we can pull up some pictures. I know Jason's upset again. I agree, Casey, that Sand Green course is greater than Erin Hills. I agree completely.
I'm upset 3 times now.
But the course literally has sand greens, literally like a sand.
Literally like sand bunkers,
And then there's a strip in the middle.
But the green is a bunker.
That is rolled and oiled, and you hit it onto the green, and then you take this string and you move it to the one track, and you putt down the one track. I mean, it's like golf at its rawest, most unmanicured, $0 green fee experience ever. And to play that and Whistling Straits in the same breath, I think has got to be this amazing experience.
I love them.
Yes, I think that's so cool. That's what makes golf great.
Thank you. Well, and the other thing is people think of golf as this super, highbrow, only for rich people thing, but this community and all sorts of communities, they come together and they want to play golf so bad that they all come together and make a golf course. And we can't afford to water greens and take care of them. Fine, we'll have sand greens. It's just so cool. So to go from there to Whistling Straits and Erin Hills.
Fun fact of the day. Mm-hmm. Greg Hiller, the director of instruction at TPC San Antonio, learned how to play golf on sand greens in North Dakota.
It's super special. I mean, and it makes it a lot more accessible for, small communities, rural communities like that. Just one of the 1,000 reasons I love golf.
Yeah, to play there and play the courses on the top 100 list. I mean, you played 7 courses in the top 100 that week. You played,
I believe,
Lasonia, the Bull, Mammoth Dunes, the 4 at Kohler, and Erin Hills. 8. You played 8 top 100 courses, and your favorite moment is the $15 sand green golf course.
Yeah, $50 for all day.
That comment is why golf is so great. I mean, it's amazing.
I agree.
It's amazing.
They were all great. I mean, just drop dead gorgeous, life-changing. But it's like top to bottom,
I'm back.
My favorite
and stuff. What you talking about
from the trip happened at Lasonia, and it was hitting a ball 10 yards in front of me, and I turning around saying, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "I'm laying up in front of the chasm."
He's calling it a chasm.
Fucking 209. What the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah, no, but he leaves out of context that he told Greg Graff that there is a chasm there.
Yes, but not 100.
Yeah, I played with Greg and Morgan at the Bull afterwards. That was a fun round. I liked that.
Yes. I by that point was used to the sound effects that come after your tee shots.
Yes.
So that was good.
Yes.
I had to get used to that.
I played good there too, man.
There's certain people you cannot play golf with and expect it to be quiet.
Yeah, we're beautiful.
Oh my God.
This group ain't gonna be quiet.
I remember I saw Travis on the range, and he had his earbuds in, and he was just like singing. And I think I looked at Bert. I was like, is that
He's just on the range
is that the normal? He's like, yeah, that's normal. And looked at me like I was.
Like she was the weird one for questioning it. Yeah. Like I'm on the side of the range with like the full headphones on.
And he's screaming like Creed. He's like singing. He
would go to falsetto at times. It was amazing.
Full experience, right? Full experience.
Great.
But yeah, I definitely was on a if Tour Travels was in 2007 kick. It was a lot of Linkin Park, a lot of Nickelback this past week.
If you watched our video at the tournament at Brack, you would have maybe gotten that Easter egg.
Yes,
if you were cool in 2007.
Maybe on a later show I will share my playlist from the Kohler trip. I think that would.
It's a lot.
It's the same one.
He was going through something.
Yes.
Travis, I think you asked my opinion on that song before that, and I just stared at you, and you said it's great, right? And I think I just walked away. You looked so happy, and I didn't want to ruin it.
Oh, that's great. My wife told me I was a good singer one time.
Was she drunk?
That's like one compliment every 10 years.
I think we were dating. I don't even think we were engaged at the time. I think, and maybe it was like a country rap song, where it really wasn't singing.
Same horse ride a cowboy or something.
Yes, something dumb.
All right, Morgan. Who was your favorite Kartner of the week?
Kartner?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Greg Graff. How can you not be? I mean, we're like the same person. That makes me sound like really into myself or whatever. But I mean, we have so many inside jokes, and it was really interesting to transplant those from San Antonio to Wisconsin and it still be the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There we go. Okay.
We good now?
Yeah, I'm lagging. I'm lagging behind big time.
You're good now.
Kick the kid off the internet.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, definitely Greg Graff. Sorry, everyone else. Sorry, Bird. Sorry, Casey.
What did I miss?
You were not her favorite partner.
Yeah, I was telling everybody that Greg Graff was my favorite partner.
Well, I mean, you spent 50 hours in the car with him getting there and back too. Plus,
well, but still, we spent
I don't think
time
anyone
together.
stood a
I
chance
think.
on that one.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think in the end, because we had to play rounds not with each other. So yeah, it might have been less time than normal.
Okay, so let's kick him out. Nobody cares about Greg. We want to know, after Greg, who is your favorite to play golf with or be around or spend time with on the Tour Travels experience?
Now you're going to make me hurt everybody else's feelings too. No, it's so easy to say.
Yes, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Just know that's exactly what's happening here.
That's exactly what's happening right now. I was so drunk I can barely even remember half of the people that was.
Who were you with
when you shot 39?
I was with Casey when I shot a 39. Casey was great to play with, and he read my he read my hook that I was
It's just me.
Are we froze?
Otherwise, on the front.
Okay.
I mean, I think.
Yeah. So he carried his weight by correctly pointing me in the right direction.
Yes, Casey is very good at.
He was not
those things.
Several people told me that they played their best when they were in a group with Casey. Oh, and there's Scott right on cue. Look at the comment from Scotty Williams. Everybody played good with Casey. So, yes, I think my favorite round during Tour Travels, I think it was hanging out with Scott Williams on the Irish course. I think that was a blast. I loved hanging out with Charles Romero. I loved hanging out with Alan Crowder. But being that close with Scott Williams was great. And then, like I said earlier, that round on the straights course is top 3 of my life. I mean, it was so special, and it was. I think it would have been a great round of golf if Morgan wasn't there. But with Morgan there and the added pressure of Morgan being there and the fact that we all played great and the caddies were in it and it was the Ryder Cup tees at, something that I would call a home course and, playing with, 3 of my greatest friends and Morgan videoing it or photo documenting, I don't know what the correct term there is, shooting it, sniping it, it's top 3. I mean, it's top 3 rounds of my life, and it was freaking special.
I'm glad I could.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, all in all, that was a pretty spectacular.
Oh, hey, do y'all have any the golden hour photos of?
Golden hour.
The golden shower hour?
I picked. Yes, thank you for that.
We are professional.
That is what I call it.
We were doing so good on the disclaimer.
I just wanted to put that out there.
I don't know who said that.
In the chat, it says that Mr. Bird had a few pinas. That's probably why. We're going to golden. There we go.
Look at Travis getting a golden shower right there.
Yeah, I can do without that commentary. That is a cool ass photo. I like that.
It's a very warm golden shower. That's my favorite photo I've seen so far of the whole, all of them.
I'm in the middle of nowhere on hole 15 making par. Thank you very much. From 5:30.
Yes.
Yep.
5:30. Yeah. Brutal.
That was great.
Yeah.
Every time people are in the queue, they're so angry and I'm so happy taking pictures.
I love it. Tour Travels this year was my favorite by far. Top 3 round of all time for me. Really the best golf I've played as an adult. 100% the best golf I've played in front of guests or customers or tour golfers. And Tour Travels was awesome this year. Be on the lookout for Tour Travels info for next year coming out soon. I know Jason's going to tease that right now. And
yes,
then
info coming soon.
Great tease. I love it. That's awesome. And MD, back to you, bud. I mean, it's all of a sudden I looked up and it's 9:45.
Yeah,
I agree. Very late. It was very late.
You know what? Who wasn't supposed to be on the show tonight? And I'm going to blame, even though he said 10 goddamn words, is Jason Bird.
It's my fault.
I've never had a power hour and 15-minute show with Bird.
Well, I'm everyone's favorite.
It's everybody's favorite. He's going to win the poll.
No,
I'm going to win the poll. I'm going to win that poll.
I don't want to ask the question I know the answer to, and that is, I just don't want to ask that question.
I mean, it's so brutal. If we ask everybody who their favorite ambassador is, and it comes back as Greg Graff, we'll never hear the end of it.
Greg Graff's humble. No. He wouldn't tell you about it ever, only every day.
Every day in the group text message. He would change
his name in the group ambassador text thread to the favorite ambassador.
He would change his email signature. Something like favorite ambassador or something. Like he sent me one the other day that made me like literally laugh out loud. He was like chief starter person or something. I don't know. It was amazing. Chief executive starter, Gregory Graff.
I love it.
I'm so nervous to be starting on Saturday. I don't want to fill those shoes.
Oh, don't worry. He's going to train you beforehand. For sure.
There you go.
Chief executive starter. Thank you for watching, Greg Graff, late into the evening.
Thank you for watching on YouTube.
He's the only one that ever
put
does.
On the big screen.
We actually have
envision so it's on the big screen TV.
Subscribers there. Oh my God, guys, silence. Someone talk.
Listen, that's okay. I was just going to kick it back to you, you know?
I think it's time to end this. It'll be food.
I mean, I agree. I am quite hungry, and I still have a soon-to-be 3-year-old who is dressed up and handing me things. Actually, she just handed me this.
Oh, that's perfect. She's teasing Tour Travels merch. I love it.
Emma, are you ready for Tour Travels next year? Yeah, we're going to partner? Yep, let's go. Okay, here you go. You did your part. Now get out of here. Okay. She's safe and healthy. You all mind your business.
Yes.
All right.
Well, thank you guys.
What are we doing?
Done.
We're saying good night. That's right. We're saying good night.
Yes, that's what we're doing. I do believe.
Good night.
Good night. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to go check out the number here below. Well, I guess really not a number anymore, is it? stxamtour.golf. Get registered for the open events there for the summer season. Professional event is open as well still. Guys, Northern Hills this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be hot. Please make sure to dress appropriately accordingly. Bring water, bring cooling towels, bring whatever you got.
Rehydrate.
It's going to be hot.
Don't drink alcohol. No sugary drinks.
And lots of water.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Lots of water. Bring snacks. Plan ahead. It's going to be hot. Full field. 7 hours of tee times. 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. are the tee times. Yeah, stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated, guys. I don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah, what's funny? Who said what?
Nothing funny has happened at all.
Water. It's fine.
Whatever.
We're just discussing my inability to golf with drinking.
Understood.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Morgan, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Guys, thank you as always. Everyone, we will see you this Saturday at Northern Hills. It's going to be a big day. Separation in points, finally. 7 flights.
Shooting even par better.
Players. Even par better.
I think 67 wins. I think someone's got to go 67.
I will shoot
I see in the
67.
chats a lot of people think I'm a favorite. It's the private chat. I'm typing it in a lot.
This is where
but
Greg
it's in
wants
there.
odds on my 67. It's coming. Gonna give him 2 minutes. He's definitely gonna ask for it.
Okay, terrific. I think
67. Do you hear me say 60 Evans? I think 60
Steve
Evans
Evans.
wins at Northern Hills.
Listen, now we know it's like the WWE. It's scripted. You just let it out of the bag.
Oh, well, now hopefully he shoots 66. Execute order 66, Stephen Evans.
Yes.
I'd put money on that.
Let me see.
I told you Greg wanted odds on that.
Bird shoots
67 with 3 to play.
Isn't that a par 4, par 5, and a par 3? I mean, that means I'm having a bad day. I'd probably kill myself at that point.
78. That's a 78, 78 and a half for Jay Bird. Is that the line for Jay Bird, 78 and a half?
Hey, my tour index is 6.2, baby.
Oh, going up, slumming in first flight this week, eh?
I looked at the database, and if I could shoot 78, 79, I have some scores drop, I'll be right back to a 10 where I want to be.
That's awesome.
Me too.
That's
I'll
awesome.
be in second flight within the next month.
Morgan Graff, thank you so much for joining us at Whistling Straits, and thank you so much for joining us this evening. I know we've gotten a little off the tracks here at the very end, but thank you so much for joining us.
That's my fault, apparently.
Yes.
It is for sure. I want you to know, Morgan, my favorite round was of the week, and we played 13 times, was that round on the Straits course, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm glad we got some good pictures out of it. Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, guys. We will see you guys all on Saturday. Everyone have a good night. And thank you so much for staying up late with us and watching. But everyone have a good night. We'll see ya.
Thanks for watching, everybody.